Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tour Reviews, checking out Harbor Freight today. Got a couple of warranty items. Yep, broke those Icon pick sets again. Not doing anything crazy with them. The tips on those things break super easy. And then, of course, we got one of the Quinn diagonal cutters as well, too. Broke off the tip of that, working on my Ram. So getting a new one of those here. A couple things I always like to pick up Harbor Freight, these detail brush sets. I pick up one of these like every time I'm here. Great deal for these things. They work really well. And the nylon ones I use the most. They do wear out pretty quick. But the brass and steel actually work out pretty well. Those are actually pretty awesome. And if you don't want the bigger size, they got that smaller size too, which is nice. Oh, that Icon Professional Scraper. That thing is just super handy. I think it's pretty awesome. These are for a number of different weird little things here and there. Don't use it on anything too soft. Those blades are really, really sharp. They will scuff and make a mess and stuff. If you want a little bit smaller one, they got that Quinn one there too, which is pretty nice. So they've got some decent options there for some pretty neat stuff here. They do have the Memorial Day sale rate going on right now. Just started today. So they've got a 10% off coupon for your inside track. You get the 20% off any one item, which is pretty sweet. So lots of options there for, grabbing a deal here or there on something. If you've kind of been looking for like one item that you've never seen a coupon for, but you want to finally get a good deal on it, well, here you go. So that is pretty sweet. That sale starts today. And I don't know if there's any other coupons. I'll check in the app. I wish Harbor Freight, I haven't looked at the app too closely, but I downloaded the app because I've heard that that's a great way to kind of keep track of all the coupons. You're kind of like, okay, it's a Tuesday, what coupons are still active today? So it's kind of always a fun thing there. Harbor Freight, I have gone back and forth on this, guys. I need a front-end service tool set. And OMT, they've sponsored me in the past, Orion Motor Technology. They make that exact same set on Amazon for less than half the price of this, which is kind of crazy that if you just cross-shop stuff versus Amazon, Harbor Freight, you'll find some surprising stuff. You'll find stuff at Harbor Freight that's way, way cheaper. Same thing with Amazon. You'll find stuff that's way, way cheaper there. So I need to pick up one of these. I have a GMC truck now, so I'm going to do a pitman or idler arm eventually here. But I'm always doing ball joints on stuff here, working on the Tacoma. But yeah, some of the stuff is definitely cheaper. But I will say, like these ball joint separators, I picked up one of these. Not a bad deal for $9 there, and that thing has been super handy there. The ironic thing is, I picked up this pick set here too for $1.99, and I've got to break any of these. I've actually started using this set more than my Icon set because they just don't break. I don't know why this set is higher quality, at least in my opinion, than the Icon set, but it is, what is that, 1/20th the cost? 1/10th the cost? And yeah, it seems to work better. So I would say skip the Icon set, go right for that Pittsburgh set there. Woohoo, what do we have for sale stuff here? Open box. 20% off, that's going to be $100 off. I love that new slate gray from US General. That looks great. That is going to be that work center hutch there. That's cool. A couple of little small things here. We got the McGraw 29 gallon, $4.55. Not bad there. And then what is this? A couple of fans and a planner. Am I saying there? Is it planer or planner? I don't know. I gotta look up exactly how that's pronounced. I've always said planer from Wisconsin, so but I think that's kind of how it's pronounced there. One thing if you don't have one, definitely pick one up, is the infrared laser thermometers. I picked the Cobalt one, but I'm sure the Ames one will work just fine too. Super handy. You want to know the temperature of anything, air vent in your truck, air vent somewhere. Pick one of these up. Don't really care the brand. Don't buy a cheap one. I bought one of the cheap ones, the Hyper Tough one at Walmart. I will say that's not super accurate, that one. So I wouldn't recommend that one. But a lot of these are, if you go for something that's like over $20, it's probably be better quality, of course. But yeah, definitely pick one up. They're super handy. I've been amazed how many times I actually have used these things, and yeah, they're pretty awesome. One thing I don't really see get a lot of attention at Harbor Freight is these little packs of stuff here. It's like, here's an example, like just a little wire connector set, you need a couple of wire connectors. Bam, there you go. Throw it in your truck. Easy to have stuff here. The heat shrink tubing, I've actually used that quite a bit in my RV, just to make sure I'm securing wires. You put something on a wire nut, it can wiggle loose, especially in an RV, but you get the heat shrink tubing, that stuff is awesome up there. And you get little heat gun, battery powered, super easy to use. They work really well. So a lot of cool stuff in here. I'm not gonna use it for everything, and that's the best quality, little connectors and parts in here and there. But in a pinch, stuff works amazing. And I will say, I have not had any, bad experiences so far with really any of this stuff that comes in these little sets here. All right, guys, let's see if there's any sales on gloves. I know I did a post on this, and I'm like, well, they don't really go on sale that much. You can pick up some deals on Amazon where you can buy them in like 10 packs, and they go up to around $7-8 a pack. So yeah, there is not really any deals today. I will need some new gloves here in next month or two. I'm kind of burning through them on a lot of products right now. So if you're wondering the thickness on these, so you've got the light duty vinyls, which are kind of a great like all around. You know, you need to throw on some gloves quick to, you know, mess with the grease gun. That works fine. I use those actually quite a bit. 5 and 7 are pretty useful. I'm not really particular when it comes to 5 or 7. I mean, I've used both. 7 will hold up a little bit longer than 5, but I mean, you can kind of get away with almost anything there. The 9mm, I have yet to really break the 9mm ever, but I mean, it's kind of overkill for a lot of stuff. Unless you're doing some really, really heavy duty stuff, yeah, go with the 9mm. But for the most part, 7, 5, if you can find a better deal on the 7's cool, but that's kind of where I'm at for most of my gloves. They're gonna be 7 and 5, so either one of those will work great. Still have these on clearance here, these older metric impact sets here from Icon. This is kind of one of those weird, geez, we have so many buckets here now. That's definitely new. But yeah, we got a lot of clearance stuff here, and I'm amazed to see these Icon sets still here. I've got a couple sets of these. They're actually really good sets for the metric sets here for impact sockets. Love them quite a bit. They work pretty well. Lots of batteries here too. But yeah, always check the clearance, guys. There's always something new here when it comes to clearance. I was checking out the wrench sets here. I've got the Icon ratcheting wrench sets. I've mentioned it plenty of times in the past, guys, but I love those ratcheting wrench sets. Best ones I've used, hands down. Not cheap, but they are awesome, definitely. It's funny, the Quins are like pretty similar in price, and you don't really get that nice, you know, organized with that nice tray there. Yeah, I mean, they're only like, what, 30-40 bucks more, not a huge amount of difference there. I would just go for the Icons. They're pretty solid there. But they've actually got these all restocked now. This was actually pretty empty last time I was here, so don't know what's going on there exactly. The one thing that I definitely wanted to pick up, they actually do have them right now, is some of the larger sets here. I kind of seem like, I'm like, man, I wish I had like a 22mm wrench or a 24, you know, so they've got those here now, which is awesome, 45 bucks. Do they have the bigger sizes in those? Actually, that'll be a little bit more over here. Yeah, I think they've got, yeah, there we go. The 22, 24, 27, 30, and 32mm for 45 bucks. That is sweet. There's always a time I'm like, man, I wish I had like a little bit larger size wrench for that. That would definitely be really cool there. So that is sweet. They finally got these back in stock. For some reason, they were out of stock for a while. I don't know if it's just me in Orlando here, but they were not available at a number of stores here. So they got those back finally. That is great. Rubber wrench strap set. I want to pick one of those up. My father-in-law's got one. He loves those things. Lifetime warranty on those as well. And we use it all the time. He's like, always like, oh, I'll pull this thing out. They work great. And for like hoses, and I mean, even stuff with, we use these on his Cummins Ram too. Got the oil filter over those too, no problem. So quite handy to have those things. All right, pliers. Picking up actually 2 of these Quins today, 8 bucks, not a bad deal there. And of course, Doyle. Some people have asked me, hey, what's the difference in Doyle, Quinn, and then of course Icon? Well, Doyle and Quinn are, I think, just, I guess from what I can tell, I think Quinn's kind of more of their mid-range, kind of just general purpose. Doyle kind of is their mid-range electrical kind of style stuff, and then Icon's gonna be the high-end mechanical kind of focused brand there. So that's the 3 differences I see between these, and I don't think it's necessarily like really like, you know, that's exactly what they're trying to go for. It's kind of just what they happen to be pushing at. So that's gonna be my best guess on that one. I'm not saying it's like for sure, but I think I'm sort of close there. And one thing I want to try to find while I'm here too is I just picked up one of these, a 45-inch or 45-degree bent nose pliers. Let's see if they have a 90. Working on that transmission on my GMC, getting to that fill plug, a 90-degree would actually be super handy. Let's go see if they have one of those in stock here. Oh yeah, they've got one right here. Check us out, 16-inch long nose pliers for $12.99, a 2-pack. That's sweet. We got a 90 in there, and just a regular super long nose. But man, look at the flex in these. That is a lot of flex there, I will say that. That's the one downside. hose grip pliers though in gray. I have never seen like a gray sleeve on these. That's kind of interesting. Well, screwdrivers, I feel like I'm finally set on screwdrivers. I finally picked up like 5 or 6 sets of the last year, so I feel like I finally got enough of those. But again, when it comes to tools, you never really have enough, do you? My favorite set of screwdrivers here, ironically, is just this Pittsburgh set here. They're Pittsburgh Pro, whatever they have here. Mostly because they've got this one here. I use this one a ton. I have no idea why I love this one so much, but this thing is a phenomenal. It's a number 0 Phillips head, and it's got a super thin but yet long point to this thing. I use that thing all the time. It's just a super handy to have one. Just absolutely love that one. So this set is actually quite used a lot. They do have this one here too, which does have some similar options in here as well too, but the quality is not as good as that one. I will say that. That's a big difference there. So kind of handy to have, but again, pros and cons there. But yeah, some of these Pittsburgh screwdriver sets are actually really, really good. Let's see here. They make a couple other ones. This one down here too. I keep this one in my truck as well. Super handy to have here too. So there's a lot of these little bit sets in here, and they're actually nice long pointed too, so you can kind of get into some tight areas as well. And that has saved my butt on a number of times. Super handy to have that one. And the only tool I kind of like kicking myself that I should have bought from Harbor Freight when they had it on sale was the Hercules grease gun. I'm trying to find where that is here exactly. They kind of spread these tools out quite a bit now. But I think it's like $129 now, but they had it on sale for $99 with the 2 batteries, I think like a year ago now. I should have bought it, but I'm doing a lot more greasing now on my farm now, so I got a lot more things to grease. I got one of the Lincoln hand ones, which actually works pretty well, but I wish I bought the electric one. So let's see if they have any of those on sale here or anything, but I'll find it here. It's got to be somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, $139. That's it now. So it went up in price a little bit. And not a bad deal for what it is, you know. I mean, the Makita one, super expensive. I think it's like $300 or $400, the Makita one. But yeah, definitely this would be super handy to get. But I'll wait till this goes on sale. Definitely, it's an expensive little tool, but definitely super handy to have. And they are a little bit more bulky though than the hand ones. I will say that. That's kind of the one downside of these things. But you know, you can get like the regular grease guns up here. You know, the pistol grip ones. Those are pretty solid too. So. Actually, do they have the 90-degree angle ones here? That'd be great. Oh, they got the mini grease guns too. Yeah, I found these at Walmart, the little cartridge ones, but I've never actually used them before. So that's kind of cool, the mini ones. That is neat there. Well, guys, that's what I got for you today. Not a huge amount new here at Harbor Freight, but they got the new sale going on right now for Memorial Day. So you can save the 20% if you are a Inside Track Club member. And that's all I've got for you guys. Take care, guys. Stay safe out there, and keep looking for deals.